I am doing my long-awaited Viva packing video. A lot of you have asked for this, and I do this every year, but I've decided that this year what I'm going to do is just make you a blanket kind of recap of past videos and a refresher and a one-time Viva packing video that will be something that you can refer to in years to come. This is how I stay organized, because as a mother of 4, I do get really disorganized and really distracted. So this is just a way to keep me from getting distracted and to allow me to make sure that I'm planning well in advance so that I don't forget anything and end up miserable because I've forgotten something important. So anyway, this is what I do. This is how I pack. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask below. I'm going to try to cover as much as possible in the small amount of time that we have here together. But if not, then make sure you ask me in the questions below. I'm also going to include a slideshow at the end of this video featuring some music from one of the artists that will be performing at Viva. And that slideshow will include things like first-timer tips, maybe things you'd like to see in Las Vegas if you've never been before. I know those of you overseas have asked me for that information. Also stuff that you might need to bring that you probably didn't think about, little things like that, first aid things and stuff like that. It's really hard for me to go over all of that in detail in the video, so this way I'll make sure that I get to that, but it's in a more succinct and easy to understand and follow manner. So let's get started. The first thing that I do above everything else is I look at the Viva schedule. Now, if you're not a big music lover and you're just going for the car show, or you're going for the fashion, which, you know, is, let's face it, the shopping and the fashion are one of the main draws for us girls, then this may not be as big a deal to you, but I am a huge fan of music in general, all genres, and I am really excited every time that the band list is announced because I therefore can plan my entire trip around the schedule. There are a lot of events in the schedule that are not band related. There's a pinup contest at the fashion show, or not at the fashion show, there's a pinup contest at the car show, there's a fashion show, there is various burlesque events, there are jive classes and record hops and all kinds of things like that. So make sure you check the schedule and know exactly what you want to do. Plan with your friends and see what they want to see, and then kind of work around each other's schedules, because what's going to happen if you just go, and I mean, I can't stress this enough, I feel like all of this has a bearing on what you wear, has a bearing on what you bring. Because if you're doing things at certain times of day where you're going to be rushing back and forth from one side of the hotel to the other, it's going to have a bearing on what shoes you wear. If you are going to a band really super late at night and going straight to a record hop, it's going to have a bearing on what you wear to see that band. So just make sure that you keep that in mind. I always plan ahead what bands I want to see, and I keep a list here on my trusty phone and to remind me what I want to see. So first and foremost, I make out a list of the bands that I want to see. After you've planned your itinerary, before I make out my packing list, I actually plan my outfits. So I look at what my itinerary is, and then I plan my outfits accordingly. Typically, you would see the average girl that goes to Viva probably changes once a day. This isn't just vanity, although let's face it, getting dressed up and you know, wearing your favorite stuff is definitely a draw for us girls. We love it, and I don't think there's any of you who go and that plan your outfits in advance that just don't love that part of it. But it also serves a purpose. Whatever shoes you're wearing during the day may not be necessarily the most attractive shoes for evening. This way you don't get stuck in uncomfortable shoes all day. You can wear a daytime outfit with one pair of shoes and then a nighttime outfit with a separate pair of shoes. So it's comfort and convenience all in one, being able to change about midway through. Also, there is a very traditional, old-fashioned sort of evening dress attitude that you'll see. A lot of the girls really enjoy dressing up for evening because very few of us have the opportunity to do that too often. So you will see that most girls love to get dressed for the evening, and they dress different than they do during the day, differently, especially considering pool parties and car shows and stuff like that. You may not want to wear that in the cool hotel at night. So I plan my outfits. I plan exactly what I'm going to wear for each day. I make out my shopping list. I shop for the things that I need. If I'm not buying anything, I go ahead and just get those things out of my closet and lay them aside. I accessorize them. I plan what kind of hair I'm going to do with them. I have backup hairstyles just in case that hair falls flat. I've got hair accessories planned, makeup looks planned. I plan all of that to the letter. I know it sounds super high maintenance, but when you get there and you're tired and you're hungry, then you sometimes don't want to have to worry about what am I going to wear, how am I going to do my hair. So I think it just makes things so much easier, regardless of how type A and weird that is. The next thing I do after I plan my outfits is I make my packing list, as I mentioned. Now my packing list is very detailed. Not everybody needs that. I do. I need it to be so specific that there is no chance that I'm going to forget anything. So I start making my packing list about a month and a half in advance. And the reason for that is because as I am going throughout the month before Viva, when spring hits and I'm starting to kind of start to pack and throw some things in bags, I will always come across stuff over the weeks that I have completely left off the list. So this way I have a lot more of a chance that I'm not going to forget anything, because anything that I think of along the way, I can just throw into the bag or put on the list. My packing list usually starts with a shopping list, and those are things that I need before I go, but I haven't gotten yet. So I'll go ahead and just put those things at the very top of my packing list. Oh, and I also put to do underneath my shopping list, like things that I need to do beforehand, like downloading certain music that I might want to listen to on the plane, or getting a book from the library that I wanted to read, or something like that. Anything that I need to do at the last minute or need to buy at the last minute is in my little shopping list portion of my list. Then I have an extras portion of the list. This is the list that includes all of my techie stuff. This includes chargers, cords, cameras. It includes all my camera battery packs, anything that is technical related. That stuff goes at the top of the list, along with books for the plane, and then sunglasses, anything I'm going to be carrying in my purse. The next thing that I have on my list is toiletries. My toiletries include everything from makeup, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, razor, my nail stuff, tweezers. I also put prescriptions in my toiletries category, because those are usually things I keep in my bathroom cabinet anyway. So any prescriptions, make sure you write those down. It would be awful to get there and not have them. Even write down things as seemingly as mundane as the little thing that you use to hold your hair back when you're washing your face. Forgetting this is pretty awful whenever you're about to wash your face at night. I can't even tell you, little stuff like that will just not necessarily ruin the trip, but it's very irritating. So write down even the most mundane, silly things. For makeup this year, I am going, like I said, I usually go pretty simple because I tend to wear neutral eye makeup and things like that. I don't want to carry too much with me. A few products of note that I am taking with me this year. I am definitely taking with me my Kat Von D Little Saint palette. I really love this, and it's got coppers and purples in it, and I'm not sure when I'll wear it, but I really love this particular palette, so I'm definitely taking that with me this year. I always take with me this Stila palette that has Kitten and LeMay by Stila. These are really frosty, really super creamy pigmented, extremely shimmery eyeshadows. So those are the kind of things I rarely wear unless I'm in Las Vegas, and I always take that with me. I am taking with me my new favorite mascara, which I had told you I would share in a video. It is the Buxom Lash. I really love this stuff. It makes my eyelashes 3 times as thick, and it's got this huge brush, and the interesting thing about the length of the brush, I don't know if you can see how long that is, but the length of this brush, it actually gets those little eyelashes at the corner of my eye that kind of always get missed by mascara on the first or second swipe. So it's really cool because it gets all my eyelashes, especially on the top, the very first try. I don't use this on the bottom though. I bring about 4 pairs of eyelashes, and for the most part just neutral eyeshadows, a lot of eyelashes, and just making sure that you have your black eyeliner that you love and that is fail-safe and that is not something... The most important thing about makeup is not to bring something along that you've never tried before and expect to experiment while you're in Las Vegas, because that takes away way too much time from your fun. Okay, yeah, so then I move into accessories. I usually include in accessories anything hair related at all, which would be extensions, hair filler. This year I'm also taking ponytail extension from Irresistible Me. And I pack all of that stuff inside of a scarf and put it in with my petticoats. I put my flower clips that I'm bringing into something sturdy, like a little rigid box of some sort. If you're traveling with a guy, you can always put them down into the toes of his shoes. If his shoes are really sturdy, those are really good places to put it. Just put it somewhere where they're not going to get crushed. I usually bring my bobby pins in something like this. I know a lot of people feel like that might not be enough. It's usually enough for me. This is just one of those little tins that come with Sally Beauty ones, which are the best bobby pins in the whole world. I put all of my toiletries that I can into this hanging bag, which I find very, very handy. This hangs on a shower door. If you're going to be staying with other girls like I am, this could possibly cause problems because you're going to all be fighting for the same little hooks. But for the most part, it is very handy. I put my first aid stuff in here, makeup here, shower stuff down here, and then I can put jewelry up here, which I haven't done yet. And the way I put my clothes, my outfits on my packing list is I tend to put foundation garments that I'll be wearing with them first. Underwear, foundation garments, anything that I feel like is important for the support of those outfits, and then putting the outfits along with the shoes that I'll be wearing with them separately on the list. And that's pretty much it. That's how I do the list. As far as packing itself goes, one thing that I have found handy, anything that you can put in your suitcase that will fold. Most of my stuff ends up in the garment bag, but anything you can put in your suitcase that will fold, put that stuff in these giant gallon-sized freezer bags, and then squeeze all the air out, kind of like you've seen space bags on TV, but you don't really need that system. Just squeeze all the air out, pack everything really super flat, and then put it on top in your suitcase whenever you're done packing your other things. And that will really help minimize problems with space, but it will also provide a great place to put the dirty stuff when you're done. So that's what I do with my my just kind of casual clothes that fold easily, knits and stuff like that. Also, I can do that with petticoats, because petticoats, as you know, take up a huge amount of space. I no longer bring those nylon big stiff petticoats because they just take up way too much room, but these petticoats are softer and you can stick them in a Ziploc bag and they stay nice and condensed. Shoes are my downfall. You know, I can put my underwear and stuff around my shoes, kind of stuffed down in little cracks in my shoes. But there's nothing else that will fit around the shoes, and the shoes take up a lot of space. As a matter of fact, at least half of my suitcase is taken up with shoes. I usually bring about 7 or 8 pairs. I don't know why I have this problem, but I can't help it. So I continue to bring 7 or 8 pairs, and I just work around it and try to find other ways to conserve space, because I don't think I'm going to be able to stop bringing all these shoes anytime soon. My hairspray and styling products that I feel like might come open while I'm traveling, those things... my cold cream, anything that I think might come open while I'm traveling, I put it into a plastic bag. I stick it all in there together, make sure the tops are on really tight. I wrap it up really, really tight so it's not going to shift too much, and then I put it into a side pocket of my bag. Please, please do not put anything with a lid that comes off easily into your suitcase loose. We all have seen people have something spill in their luggage. You know, please do yourself a favor and do not put anything that has a loose top, or even something with a screw on top. Don't put anything with a top, anything that can come out. Don't put it loose in your suitcase. Make sure you put it inside of a plastic bag. And the plastic bag's gonna come in handy for all kinds of things, so it's a no-win, no-lose situation. But for the most part, that's what I do. It's what I do every year. It works really, really well for me. But I really enjoy, you know, these videos, making these videos for y'all. I enjoy packing for Viva. I think it's part of the fun. So like I said, feel free to share anything that you'd like in the comments below with any of your other friends. And these tips also work really well for going to Vegas at any time of year, really going on any vacation if you are into vintage style, because there's going to be tips that you can use when you go to Viva when you don't go on vacation at all. So that's all, and we'll talk to you later.